All right, and welcome back to week two. I'm joined by Shani,
What's up, everybody?
and Evander will be getting with us soon. But here we are at week two, and we already are going to be picking out our contenders, our pretenders. We're going to be talking about trading strategy, making our picks for next week. Am I missing anything, Shani?
And what did we like so far from week one? Couple players.
All right. So, we'll save our picks for that. Let's go ahead and talk about some players you like. So, Shani, what impressed you in week one?
So, of course, everybody know I love Deontay Johnson. Although he didn't have a huge breakout game, I see he was targeted 10 times. I think that was highest total on the team. And he also separated on like 70% of his routes. So I think he's off to a good start. And I think the ceiling is high for him.
You know, I gotta say, week one, I loved Aaron Rodgers. I'm a Packers fan, so it's pretty obvious. And Aaron Rodgers balled out week one.
That's a good call.
It was nice to see. I didn't expect it, being as a Packers fan. But I'll go my little one that hits home. Darius Slayton coming through with the scoring in this league for those long touchdown passes. I mean, I was sweating bullets in every beer for a while. Put up 45 points.
He actually saved not just you, but Bankhead in another league. Yeah, like that last touchdown, I think that put him over the top. He came through.
So rounding out our top 5 overall fantasy players this week was Rodgers at 1, Devontae Adams at 2. I mean, with Thomas's injury, he's going to be the wide receiver 1. I'm calling it now. Russell Wilson at 3, and I mean they finally let him loose. It's scary what he can do. And then the only defensive player to make the top 5, Baker from the Miami Dolphins.
And I actually traded up with him in another league that we might get to in Survivor. And my man Ozzy said, "Who is that?"
But here's what's scary: 4 of the top 5 players belong to Ozzy and Bankhead. Ozzy has Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Doesn't do much good in a 1 QB league, unfortunately. So he literally had a top 3 player sitting on the bench.
Yeah, that's tough.
He may want to try and shake one loose, or he has to hold on to it for next year down the road. Hopefully, these quarterbacks will still be having value if we ever go super flex. But
quarterback, not so much of the injuries that we seen with the hamstrings and things like that. So it's hard when you just sit there.
Let's finish off the top 10. I'll read them out while you give us some thoughts. Feel free to jump in. You got Jamison Crowder, who I traded to Simply earlier this year.
Which is out now. That's tough.
Yeah, he impressed. I don't even know. He's injured, right? He's going to be out this week.
He's out already officially. Hamstring. That could be a 2 to 3 week injury right there.
The guy can't stay healthy, even when he was with Washington. He's electric.
Soft tissue issues.
Calvin Ridley, Alex, holding on to Ridley. I think he's got him in multiple leagues. He's been a Ridley believer, and it's finally paying off.
Although I traded him, I definitely call top 10 for Calvin Ridley. I don't know if it's going to be 10, but I definitely see top 12. With Matt Ryan had 54 pass attempts.
I don't remember.
Something
like
that.
Crazy
something along those lines. If they got to throw like that every game, him and Julio. Oh man, I don't know how you get past that.
So our next 2, I don't think we're going to see up here, to be honest, too much, just because. Maybe Thielen. Thielen's a number 8, 2 touchdowns. I think they start working the rookie in there, Jefferson, a little bit more. But Kirk Cousins does play favorites, and Allen Thielen's the only established receiver they have.
Yeah, he just knows how to get open.
And then follow that with Robbie Anderson. Now, this is the one I don't see happening anymore. I think he had a good week, but I just see DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, McCaffrey, all these other mouths to feed. I think just happen to be the person who got the ball that week.
I will say, if we have 2 flex spots and a couple of receivers, but if you do have him and you weaken the position, he's a good player to have because I think that they always playing from behind, and although I think DJ Moore is definitely the number one. They all got about 8 to 9 targets, and if that's every game, I guess the big play and the way that we do the scoring here, I guess he's worth a flex spot if you're weak at the position at least.
The way I see it is Walters can sit on him for a little bit longer, and Walters can get that needed trade value because I don't
definitely.
see Anderson being long term a stud. I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver one, and I think
No.
I think if Anderson can do this one more week, maybe 2 more weeks, maybe somebody pulls the trigger that's on that cusp and tries to get him for some draft pick capital.
Like maybe he wants to hit Alex up because he's already down Michael Thomas, I believe.
Yeah, I mean that could be a spot, but who knows? If Vander's team finishes off our top 10 by having Hopkins.
Oh my God.
People left him for dead a little bit. They just kind of I felt like he was overlooked. 16 targets. That's
Okay,
crazy.
so I want to elaborate a little bit because in Savages, one of my it looked good on paper. I traded Hopkins for DJ Moore straight up. I'm really not mad about it.
I'd be a little mad right now.
No, I'm mad because for right now, it hurt me. He actually beat me. that beat me. That alone beat me. And I'm still not mad overall, like down the line, but yeah, I expected Hopkins to still be top 10, but I definitely didn't expect the target share. I thought it was gonna be divided, but he's unreal right now.
All right. So let's talk about who's going to be our bounce back fantasy player of the week. So we're always going to choose a losing team. So this week we've got Egas, Alex, Marin, Beers, Walters, and you, Shawnee. Who comes away with a win this week? I think there's 2 obvious choices.
Yeah, I don't like to be so obvious, but it's definitely Egas, and he already off to a hot start. And he went up against the reigning champ last week, so I could see, he wasn't expected to win, even though it could have been a close matchup, but I definitely think he bounced back in a big way this week. He got an 88% chance of winning.
Yeah, Vander scored the second most points. He just happened to play the first most points.
Exactly.
It's just a tough week for him. I'm going to go ahead and say for our other bounce back, I'm actually going to go Alex. Simply put up more points than me the first week. Not that I'm a stud player, but it definitely surprised me.
Yeah.
And he's currently above me in the rankings. So I think I'm going to say that's slightly bigger upset right now. Egas is 7th, Alex is 8th. Plus, I think Alex is going to get injured, so I think Alex gets back into the win column. I think this middle of the pack, this 4 through 8, maybe even 9, is going to be jumping around for a long time.
Yeah, we was predicting that all summer, so it's holding up true.
Yeah. Even I'll include 3 because Ozzy's only in 3rd place by 2 points. Yeah.
Right. But, and if we was doing a matchup of the week, it has to be him and Rose because they like neck and neck.
Oh yeah, that one's going to be the nail biter. That will be decided by whoever has the last player playing. It's going to come down to that.
Yeah, and I like to say Devontae Adams. I think he might actually flirt or break Michael Thomas' reception record.
It's first week. I ain't
think
gonna
he
say
will.
any crap like that. That's first week. You buy it into some hype there, but
no, I'm talking
it's possible.
It's first week, but you go back from him and Rodgers on the field together since last year, and they didn't add anybody. It's just the same narrative. Like Saints didn't have no number one. They had no second option besides Kamara. He just got fed all day long, and I think that's the same thing that's gonna happen. But we will see. I'm just throwing it out there.
All right. So another little segment we want to start doing is contender or pretender, and this week we are going to focus on. I think we talked Alex because it's kind of interesting. The curse of, was it Jared is what everybody was saying? We're the new people, so I don't know Jared.
Yeah, I don't know Jared, but I get what they're talking about.
I mean, that starting lineup is just scary. I mean, even with Thomas out, it's not
tough.
bad. I mean, Julian Edelman is your last flex.
Yeah, you still get targeted. Yeah.
It's a solid team. Not the greatest depth. What do you think? Do you think, like, obviously he's probably gonna be 1-1 after this week, but do you think his team will be able to hold up, or is the curse of Jarrett real?
I think his team will hold up, and down the line, I think it's gonna be scary because what I seen from Judy, he had a couple drops, but he's sitting on the bench, but he looked good. He can get open against pretty much anybody, it seems like. And then once he get Courtland Sutton back on the other side, that could be a good flex play. Michael Thomas might bounce back. He's saying he looks fantastic already. I don't know too much about that. It's high ankle sprain. I think they're just saying that just because if he's practicing at all, it's a good sign. But yeah, he comes back, it could be good.
All right, we're joined by Evander. Evander, are you there?
I do use this.
Oh my goodness, Evander sounds. This is the best he's ever sounded. I like it.
Don't jinx it.
Had to get the gaming headset.
Oh man, finally. All right, so we're no longer dealing with a podcast rookie, an Evander.
Fuck you
Evander.
guys.
So we already went through and talked about our top 10 fantasy players from last week. And we went through our matchups and who's going to bounce back. We're on our pretender segment. And right now we're discussing, is Alex a contender or a pretender? Is he doomed to the Jared curse, or is he going to make playoffs?
Well, you guys know my opinion on this.
I
I already wrote about the Jared curse. He has already fallen victim to the Jared curse. He is not going to make playoffs. He is going to go 6-7, just missing playoffs.
All right.
It's tough looking at these players.
I just can't bet against Saquon and Christian, so I still think he finds a way.
I mean, last year it was... Who was it last year? It was Odell, Mike Thomas, Kamara, and Saquon. 6-7. His team has actually less firepower this year, I want to say.
No. I disagree there.
I think there's more firepower at the top, but it's pretty similar. And week 1, high ankle sprain last year was Saquon. This year it's Mike Thomas. He's going 6-7. I'm calling it now.
I'm not gonna say that. I can't look at this roster and say that. I just can't do it. But I do have another pretender if you want to go.
All right, let's hear your pretender.
I'm sorry, this is not a shot at my guy, even though we always trolling. But Rhodes, I think, is a pretender.
Going after the number 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I look at it. Don't get me wrong. His team is definitely solid as pieces. I'm a Drake believer, and that's the only thing we and him have in common. But if Edmonds is really showing up, like I don't know, it could be a long season. And then you look at it, his flex is Sammy Watkins. I know week 1, Sammy Watkins always shows up. But if you're telling me the whole year that Sammy Watkins is going to be your best flex, like, I can't see it. I see he has Fournette on the bench. Maybe Fournette. I mean, we all think that he's going to take the job eventually, but we don't know if that's going to be a passing offense, just pass. I don't know what's going to happen there. So we'll see. His roster, we don't know. Like, it looks good, but I think he's a pretender.
I don't know, man. You said contender, or you said
pretender?
Pretender?
Yeah.
I don't know, that bet he made with you about Hollywood looking real good right now with Juju.
Another thing, since we said things that we like week 1. Okay, that bet looks good, right?
He's looking pretty good right now.
Hollywood scored more points, and he didn't score a touchdown. Think about it.
This is a big play league.
I'm just saying, I know Juju was getting the ball now that Ben's actually healthy. I mean, it's all dependent. If Ben stays healthy, he's got a chance.
6 for 69. That's all I have to say. 6 for 69. And 2 touchdowns, and he still scored less than Hollywood. I'm just saying.
I think, unfortunately for him, for Rhodes, he has the biggest stable of running backs with the biggest like Achilles heels just ready. Like they look great, and all it takes is one little prick, and they're gonna fall down. Chris Carson, right? They've shown to go with a hot hand in Seattle before. I've heard rumors he's not the long-term solution out there. They're going to run him in and he gets injured. So then you go Leonard Fournette. He didn't take over last week. We all think he will. Philip Lindsay's down. Mark Ingram's already being replaced by Dobbins. It just seems like all of his running backs, there's a but to him.
But I do want to give him some love. Like, his IDP is strong. And I won a week totally off of IDP, so I know it means something in these leagues. You know what I'm saying? I know it means something. So I'm not
IDP is big in this league.
His team is not trash. I'm not really trying to say it's that, but I just don't think, like, at the end of the day, playoffs come around, he's just not one of the guys I'm going with.
One of the things that seems to work well in this league is having a boring ass team. Having a very conservative team seems to work well. Marin's team, if you look at it, it's a pretty boring fucking team. Yet she's always in the playoffs, always contending for championships. It works. If his team stays healthy, I think Rhodes is a contender.
Well,
I'm thinking Rhodes gets the playoffs.
He has a lot of question marks, though. He definitely has a lot of question marks, and there's no flashy players on that. Not a single one.
For a little more clarity, when I say pretender, I'm saying, okay, you make the playoffs, you might be, that last couple seed, whatever. But I'm saying, like, top 3 team, I don't see it.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, yeah, well, then Alex is definitely a pretender.
Oh, no, I can see Alex still. That's just my opinion.
Contender, basically. Getting into the playoffs at this point.
Okay.
Just because that 3 through 9, we've already said it. The 3 through 9 is there's going to be 3 teams who are solid, who are not going to make the playoffs.
2 teams. De Beer's not even having a chance.
No, there's 12 teams, right? So that would mean if we take out Shawnee, Walters, and Simply, it leaves us down to 9.
The Bears.
You got to take out De Beers too.
All right.
Like, don't even joke. Like, yeah, I'm not even joking.
All right. So, anyways, moving on to our next thing. We wanted to wait for you just to do this segment. Trade protocol. So when you guys approach trade, or when you receive it. So when you receive a trade, how do you view it, Shawnee?
First off, everybody should know me. I look at my trades instantly. Most of the time, you don't even have to give me a text because I already either accept it, decline, or counter. So if I see something that's just egregious, like oh my gosh, you just want me to overpay, I'm usually gonna decline and not counter, and I'm not gonna get upset about it and never trade with you again. It's just like I see the prices that you asking was way too high. So if you want to trade with me, maybe you just want to get my attention. Please don't do that because you're gonna turn me off. I'm not gonna be mad, like I said, but you're gonna turn me off from the trade. But I'd rather you just give me the alert of the player that you're interested in, or tell me, hey, I need such and such. Is there anything that you need to upgrade so we can work something out? And I think everybody should have that type of, at least that type of trade etiquette.
Yeah. What about you, Evander?
I can agree with that. I think it depends on the person in which you're dealing with. You got to change your approach based on whoever you're talking to. And there's some people where it's best if you say, hey, I'm interested in so-and-so. Are they movable? Sometimes it works better for people if you shoot a random offer or shoot a good offer and hope that they counter, hope that they engage. They like the pieces that you've sent them and they see something that may work. I think the worst thing you can do is send a fucking Aussie offer.
Oh, starting with the call.
I mean, and I'm not gonna say I don't do that because I send out a lot of random shit that's sometimes egregious. But so take the offer I got this morning. Singletary and Zach Moss for Henry Ruggs and Antonio Gibson. That's not even a conversation starter.
Yeah, that's wild. That's what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna take that serious. And another thing is, oh man, yeah, that is yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Keep going.
I was gonna
What
say,
you
which
think,
kind of
man?
building on what Evander said. And when we were discussing this, I brought this up. I actually sometimes don't even look at the player. I look at who, and like maybe I'll think maybe I had a player in mind, but I look at more of a position. I'm like, I'm gonna hit up people that it's easier to work out a deal with sometimes before I go to everybody else, because sometimes to me it's just not worth the headache. Like, all right, you want to nickel and dime me and try to squeeze out every penny from me, but if you make it to where the transaction is a headache just to try and work out like a simple deal, it makes me not want to. It makes me not want to propose things because I'm like, it's just going to be a waste of time. So for me, I would always look at, there's a couple people I know I can send a message and I get my feedback. I'm like, all right, there's something there or there's nothing, fine. But there's other people like, I have to really need that position if I'm going there because I'm like, I already know it's going to be a grind to try and reach that point where we both agree.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And don't send me a trade and call the player that you want trash. That's really what are you doing? Like, okay, he's trash. Like, next, let's not even talk.
Are you trying to explain to me that kindergarten psychology doesn't work? I mean, come on, Sean.
It doesn't at all. You see, like, it's just funny though. Like, I don't understand.
But it happens. It does happen. And I know exactly who the hell you're talking about.
It's like when you have a little brother and you're playing Madden and you're playing against, you're playing with your friends. Like, I could beat you. Oh, I could beat you, even though you've beaten him 100 times. He says that just so he thinks, oh, he has to accept my challenge.
Right.
Yeah, but like, I think I'm pretty smart. Like, I don't think I'm a dummy. I might have made dumb trades in the past, but don't play me like that. You're gonna make me think the player is even better than what I think he is, just by saying he's trash.
Right. That means you're really interested in him.
So you really, like if you're dealing with me personally, that's what I'd say.
All right.
Like, oh, yeah.
Anything else on the subject?
Yeah, to build off what you said, definitely. There's some people that I don't even try to work with. Like I don't send trades to Marin. Marin doesn't trade. Ozzy, I don't really try to trade with. I don't really try to trade with Ozzy. And I don't really try to trade with Tico.
I don't really care. I don't really mind. I'm going to say, to be funny, we always talk to Ozzy. I don't mind trading with him. It's just, he got to come correct. Like, we made trades in the past. And yes, we talked for 2 days just to make a deal.
And that's what Wood's saying about the headache is it worth my time?
And it's more because me and him know the real deal. Yeah, he's just trying to tell me this and that. It's never gonna work. I'm gonna tell you that. It's never gonna work. Whether you win the trade in the long run, that's one thing. Everything's just not gonna work out. But you thinking that you talk me down or anything, nah, it's not happening.
Yeah, Tico trades are weird. I'm not gonna say it's hard. Tico trades are just weird because like he'll throw every single pick he has at you.
Oh, and I'll take it every time.
Yeah, and it's just weird.
But once he doesn't have picks, that's when it's interesting.
And then it becomes like, what defensive player do you want? And
right, he doesn't have any pieces, like those bench pieces that could fill the gap he doesn't have.
So, Tico, if you're listening, it's not that you can't trade. It's just after you're capped out, there's nothing that you can really give. And that's simple. I
think that's the one thing is that draft picks are imagination. Draft picks are flexibility. When we get them from someone else, can in our minds then fill it with what we perceive as our biggest fill. But if we're looking at somebody's team where they don't have draft picks, we have to pick the pieces, and a lot of time we're like, it's slim pickings on the bench.
Yeah, because all Tico teams is top heavy.
They don't even have a bench. Like they have like 3 people on the fucking bench.
He has the best luck in fantasy football, though. I'm gonna tell y'all that.
It is.
Everybody always laughing, but he always makes the plays because his players seem to never get hurt.
That's true. That's very true.
Players don't get hurt.
All right.
Tico's not a bad trade partner.
No, he's not.
He just doesn't have the pieces. So going into a trade, he's already handicapped. And that's my problem with trading with him.
Yeah, I'll echo that sentiment. And that brings us to our matchup, our pick'ems. All right, Shawnee, are you gonna write it down this time
Oh,
in,
yeah.
in the Discord? So how did we do last week? Let's see. We all picked my game, so we were all correct. We all picked Alex, and we were wrong. All of us. 4-0.
Who did
Uh,
Alex play like?
Alex played Tico.
We were all against Tico. We all got proven wrong. Simply, we did predict winning
That's funny.
3-1. Bankhead, we predicted winning 3-0. Now
I guess
that's
'cause
just
he
some
was
crappy luck
on
to you,
air.
Xander.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't crappy luck. That's how it's gonna go against
He bet
Bankhead
against himself anyway.
every single time.
Ozzy, we
Wow.
predicted the win, but it was 3-2, and that was a pretty close game for a while until Ozzy's team started showing up. And then Road,
Inside.
we all predicted 5-0, which we destroyed. So let's get into it this week. Our first matchup is my team versus EGAS. So really, Shawnee, it's all on you, and I have a pretty good idea where we're going with this one. So just tell us who's winning.
Nah, I was gonna say it, but let me actually look at it just because you never know. Yeah, I'm gonna go EGAS. Quick look, EGAS all the way from me. I don't know who's gonna disagree, but yeah, Vander for me.
There ain't no one to disagree. Me and
We're
Me
gonna
and
vote
Wood don't
here.
get an
We're gonna
opinion.
vote. We're all
Alright.
voting EGAS. Let's just put it that way. 3-0 EGAS.
yeah, I give myself this one.
Yeah, I don't think we need that. All right. Moving on, we have Alex's team versus Simply Anarchy. It's 99% to 1. We all know Simply's in rebuild mode.
Yeah, I don't get
I'm
it.
gonna say right now, Alex
I
wins this
think he
game.
won.
Oh
I
yeah,
think Alex wins in a landslide.
yep. 99% to 1. That's accurate.
And the next game, same thing. We got a couple
Yeah, we got-
landslides here.
No, we have one good matchup this week, I believe.
Tico playing against Shawnee here. Shawnee
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm walking by.
barely bringing 100. It's a competition for that 12th spot.
Oh, I'm winning that.
So I'm gonna go. I'm assuming we're 3-0 here with
3-0.
all Tico.
Yeah.
Yes, easy pick.
Another 90. Can't believe we're all 99%.
I
99%
told
to
you.
1.
Yeah, you can. Look at the teams. There are 4 teams that are just bye weeks.
Oh man.
I told you.
The
bad
Bears.
pick,
So the Bears. I mean, Nick Chubb showed up big time finally for Bankhead there.
though. Oh, 30 carry left.
13
Oh,
targets
yeah.
for AJ Green, only 3 catches. I can't believe that. But anyways,
That was terrible.
so who we got in this game? I mean, the Bears is, I think only had one player
I'm not-
play. No, he put up 16.5. That's not bad.
Bankhead.
Bankhead, I'm not even guessing.
I'm just trying to
He's starting
make
Peyton
it
Barber.
seem interesting.
It's not.
I can't do it. He's starting Peyton Barber. Sorry.
All right, Bankhead.
That's because
3,
Tico told him that was the running back to have.
Bankhead
Bankhead.
3-0.
You know.
All right, we come to the big matchup here. We have
Matchup of the
Rhodes
week.
versus Ozzy. This one's a clincher. We're gonna start off with Evander. Who you got?
I got Ozzy this week. He's gonna go 2-0.
Any reasons why?
His team right now, early in the season, is not affected by the lack of running backs. So, him having those deep wide receivers, he's just gonna torch people because he doesn't have to worry about anything. Gurley hasn't gotten hurt. Doesn't matter if Godwin's not playing. He has like 17 wide receivers that can all get put in.
Look at it. I'm just saying.
You got Marvin Jones on the bench. Jarvis Landry. Okay, Jarvis Landry already played. He could throw CD in against Atlanta. That's going to be a shootout.
All right. He got Dak on the
Shawnee.
outside.
Shawnee, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Rory.
So you're going with your pretender pick.
Yeah, that's why he's a contender.
You're gonna beat Ozzy and then crash and burn. All right. So I am the deciding vote here. You know, I gotta go with my gut, and it's just I don't know why it's screaming.
Ooh, Rhodes
Ozzy.
pick. Oh,
It's screaming Ozzy at me. I just think He'll change Curtis. I mean, Godwin hurts. Like that would have been nice.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
Don't get me wrong. I like Ozzy's team, but when I look at it, Godwin's out. Even if he put Lamb in, he has Lamb and Cooper. Who has that?
Doesn't matter.
It matters a lot because you get in the top quarterback. So if they perform,
But the wide receiver scoring is much more skewed than quarterback scoring.
And he also has Julio and Juju and Cooper Kupp playing the Eagles. I don't know. It's just me. I'll go with it. I just wanted to add that in. That he has a quarterback of Ozzy's receivers.
So we're 2-1 going Ozzy. I do think it's a close. I think it's scored less than 10 points.
I think it's about 15 to 20. And that's pretty close in this league. I mean,
Ozzy 2-1. I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Now you're going Ozzy. I'm confused.
No.
Ozzy's the majority.
Okay.
No, I said yeah, between the two. Yeah, I'm going Rose.
All right, and the last one is not 99% to 1, but we have Walters and Marin. It's actually only a 30-point difference. And you just said 20 is not that big a deal. Who are we going here?
Walters has some sneaky plays, right? Like if he's ever gonna land an upset, it would be. But you know why he lose? I'm gonna say Marin wins just off IDP. Even if it's a sneaky shootout between the points with them two, I think she pulled it off because Walters looked like he didn't even care about his IDP.
All right, Vander, who you got?
Marin. I can't pick a bye week team.
All right, you know what?
I mean, he has Lamar Jackson.
I'm calling it here. This is the upset. Walters sneaks it in, barely winning. She does have A.J. Brown.
Ooh, A.J. Brown is out.
A.J. Brown, that's what I was getting to.
Like,
A.J. Brown is out. Deontay Johnson proved to be a much bigger part of the offense. Campbell stepped up.
And Cortland Sutton may be out again this week.
That's right.
This could actually be an interesting game.
So I'm calling the upset now. I think this, if it's gonna happen, this is gonna be the week. And so crazy enough, like they're not hitting enough for him to win. Like we're not gonna say Walters is going to the playoffs. We're not saying that. But Johnson had a big impact. Campbell had a big impact. Nakeem Hines had a big impact. All these players, we were like, they're just backups. All of a sudden, having bigger roles on their teams.
The thing about him and his tanking team, he has Lamar Jackson. You never know where that's going to get you.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson himself is going to win a couple games this year, period.
And Cam Newton, I mean, hey, you're a Houston fan. He's going against Lamar Jackson going against Houston. You know he's going to tear them up a little bit.
Everything's going to get torn up. I actually think J.K. Dobbins is a good pick, though.
But
I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to do as well this week, but this is going to be a close game between Walters and
Cam Newton. And I just don't see him doing what he did last week against Miami, one of the worst teams, against that Seattle defense. I just don't see the same thing happening.
I agree.
At this time next week, I can see Marin laughing at us like, y'all really thought I was going to lose?
Hey, we'll see.
We'll see.
All right.
She has Breeze, though.
Any breakdown?
She does have Breeze. I bet you
she still wins this game. She's going to win this game, but it's not going to be a huge blowout because of the injury she has.
I mean, she's ready for Superflex. She has 5 quarterbacks. All right. Well, that's it for this show. Thank you guys for being on, and we'll catch you next week and see how we did.